go land on some islands because we gotta burn some time. My ultimate goal is to get to 500 hours because we need that to leave the Robinson factory when this is done being overhauled. If you're confused about all that, link to that video up here. So we're planning on flying 40 hours for the trip across the country, which means I need to get to 460 hours. And right now I'm at 446. So we're gonna go head north again into the Canadian wilderness. Again, one of our favorite spots, the Georgian Bay, because there's tens of thousands of islands that we love landing on them. So we're gonna go up that way again.
It's kind of emotional, Chris, because this is kind of like one of the last times that we're actually gonna be able to do this for over a year, which is really sad.
Assuming that's how long the overhaul takes. Robinson's quoting 6 months, but I've heard like people said realistically it's gonna be like more like
Probably
double
like
that.
A year. So it is a little emotional
emotional.
doing this today, yeah.
I'm gonna miss my buddy.
First, we have to clear customs in Canada. Then we have to fly north to Parry Sound. We're gonna fuel up, then we're going to go to the islands, boil up coffee, have a little picnic.
Alright, we're on the ground back.
I feel so sick. It was so bumpy.
Oh.
I'm like so nauseous and like uncomfortable and just not well.
So we've got our fuel. We kind of took a nap on the ramp for about an hour because Becky's not feeling the best. It's windy and gusty and it's not ideal. Beautiful blue skies. Nice sunny day, but it's just windy and bumpy and it's never fun like that. So we're gonna hopefully head west, check out the islands, and hopefully it's a little bit calmer further west. I think we logged about just under 2.5 hours getting up here. So by the time it's all said and done, we'll maybe hit 5 hours. So we're gonna get over the 450 hour mark today, hopefully. All right, let's go. Landed our spot here. I think we actually landed at this exact same spot during heading north to regroup and try to like figure out where we were going. We'll link to that series up here. It's a multi-part helicopter camping travel series if you haven't seen it. The waters here is just as I remember it, just this turquoisey, emerald, greeny blue color. It's beautiful. Probably like 15, gusting 20, which is interesting. It makes off airports a little bit more technical because you absolutely have to make sure you're landing into wind. When you're circling around a landing zone or a potential landing zone trying to assess it, you've got to take into consideration that as you turn into a downwind direction, transitioning from the wind at your nose to the wind at your back, you actually will pick up 15 to 20 knots of speed across the ground, even if your airspeed stays constant. So you're used to gauging speed by how fast the ground's going by you. So as you make that turn, you're unconsciously lowering your airspeed so that the ground speed stays the same, and you can get in a little bit of trouble if you get too low of an airspeed because you can lose something called effective translational lift, which is basically a situation where if you drop below a certain airspeed, your power settings dramatically increase. So you just want to make sure that you don't have a dramatic increase in power requirements unexpectedly, and if there's not enough power there, then you can run into some issues. Because anytime you have gusty wind conditions, if the wind is gusting and you're more efficient, then the wind slows down and then you're less efficient, you might have unexpected increases in power requirements that you might not foresee. So I try not to approach over any hostile terrain if I don't have to. Try to take a more of a clear approach in. Sometimes you have to go over some small trees, but anyway, all things to consider. But we got down pretty easily, and wind's at your nose. The helicopter acts as like a weather vane, so if you can aim your helicopter into wind, it actually stabilizes it very nicely. There we go. All right, on the ground here, take a little break, maybe fire up a little tea.
It's too windy for a fire and we don't have a lot of time right now, so we're just gonna fire up the stove.
Stirred yours first, then mine.
Despite not feeling very well today and kind of wanting to go home because I'm feeling sick, I am really gonna miss this, like the adventure of being able to come out and land off airport and have these little adventures. And I kind of feel sad because for the last year, these are the things that we could have been doing, especially like last summer and the summer before. And it seemed like it wasn't until the time crunch was here that we thought, oh my gosh, we should probably go take advantage. We got to fly all these hours. And now we're starting to do all of these things that we always talked about wanting to do, but never really had time to do it. You know, we'd go for a quick flight, and we did do some beautiful and amazing trips. You know, when the pressure is on, when something is about to change, is kind of when we start to, you know, ramp up our activity, or to, you know, enjoying the thing that we're about to get rid of or about to lose. I guess it's kind of a lesson and a reminder to like try and get out there and enjoy the things, and that maybe work isn't the most important thing, and you should be going out there and doing the things you want to do before it's gone. I don't know, just been feeling a little emotional about it the last couple of days.
Isn't that life though? You kind of take for granted the things that are immediately available to you until there's an impending sense of you might lose something or not have it for a while, and then you're scrambling to like pack it all in. I think that's just human nature. But anyway, I'm glad we got out, even though it's a bumpy day.
We had a couple of goals before we left, and one of them was camping up here. We did that, and then I wasn't sure if we'd get up here again, and we did for today. And unfortunately, it has been a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, we still got out and did it. And the main goal was to get hours on it today, and we did that. So we got a couple more things we want to do before we bring it across. But yeah, I'm glad we got out today despite it being real bumpy.
If you guys like watching these videos, and especially like the series, these big multi-part series that we do, Becky's a one-person show. These trips are very time-consuming, very costly, and sometimes hard to find sponsors for. So if you guys wanted to support that, we have a whole line, a cornucopia of merchandise, including but not limited to crewneck sweater with the Millennial Falcon logo on it. Becky's wearing it right now. The Capturing Photons bandana, and there's the hooks for your camera bags if you're building out a studio, or just wall hooks for coats. We got dad hats, the No Bad Idea notebook. Last but not least, we have the matchboxes back in stock, and if you bought a matchbox before but need more matches, we now have refills. So check those things out. Thank you for supporting this channel.
Also, if you want to directly support Heading West, this series, we have a limited edition Heading West t-shirt available. So I'll leave the link to that specifically in the description. If you like that idea and you want to support, check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you next weekend for another one.
Bye.
Bye.